Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. Hope everybody's doing well out there today. My last video was a jazz compilation video I'm doing a series of videos of different compilations. I did a rock and roll, then I did a jazz. Anyway, I got some feedback, and one of the people who wrote to me was Julius Jabbar. If you don't know Julius, check out his channel. He shows really interesting, he's a jazz hound like I am. He shows really interesting stuff, things I've never seen, and always a good way to discover new music. So if you get a moment, go to his channel, Julius Jabbar, J-A-B-A-R. Please check it out, great stuff. So he was saying he really liked it, and did I have anything else to show? And I realized that I didn't show any box sets. So this is going to be a jazz compilation box set, part 2.2, as it were. So, first one is not hard to find. You see it everywhere, but I have a story with it, and to me, it's special. So, this is the world's greatest music series, Pop Jazz. I'm sure you've seen this at different places. Not hard to find. A 5-record set, put out in 1962. In 1963, I was 14 years old that summer, and my dad bought me this as my birthday present in 1963 at my 14th birthday. He was a big jazz guy and thought I would get into it if I started hearing some of the stuff. The first album, there's 5 albums in here. The first album is Maynard Ferguson. I never listened to it much. I put it on once and that was it. I was sort of done with that. Second record was a record that really got me into deeper jazz. It starts off with Charlie Parker and Miles Davis doing Crazyology and Bird Feathers. Johnny Smith, then he does Dizzy Gillespie doing Sweet Low, Sweet Cadillac, which at 14 years old, I thought was the greatest record I ever heard in my life. I thought that was just fantastic. Also has Stan Getz with Horace Silver, Errol Garner, Art Tatum, and Bud Powell. That's basically the second record, and that's the record I listen to constantly. The third record was all Sarah Vaughan. You know, for a 14-year-old kid in 1960s, Sarah Vaughan wasn't interested. Side 4 was fourth album was Joe Williams and Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross. Again, I didn't really care about that. The fifth album had Machito with Johnny Griffin and Herbie Mann, Randy Weston, Count Basie, and Sonny Stitt. That I listened to a lot, some also. But the second record, the Charlie Parker with Miles Davis, the Dizzy Gillespie doing Sweet Low, Sweet Cadillac, Stan Getz and Horace Silver, Art Tatum, Bud Powell. That really got me going into jazz. And my dad, like I said, bought me this my 14th birthday. So that's not the original one. I lost that over years ago, and I found it a couple of years ago at Goodwill and picked that up. All right, the next one is sort of an interesting box set. It's from a company called Murray Hill, which I'd never heard of before. A 5-record set called Collector's History of Classic Jazz. The thing about this one, I'll show you the label. The label's sort of cool. Label is called Murray Hill Records. Murray Hill is a place in New York City, a district of Manhattan. This was sort of cool because this starts off with the backgrounds of jazz. So the first record has examples of African tribal music, Negro prison songs from the Mississippi State Prison, the Harlem Christian Tabernacle Choir. All that stuff was like, I'd never heard anything like that before. It was all new to me. Then it goes into Blind Lemon Jefferson, Fred Van Epps, and New Orleans Military Band. The second side is Ragtime and Boogie Woogie, Scott Joplin, Jelly Roll Morton, Meade Lux Lewis, stuff like that. Record 2 is New Orleans and Dixieland style. So you have original Dixieland Jazz Band, King Oliver, Louis Armstrong, Buck Johnson. On the flip side, Sidney Beckett, P.B. Russell, Jack Teagarden. The record 3, which was my favorite because I'm also a blues hound, is The Blues. So you have Bessie Smith, Lead Belly, Brownie, Terry and Sonny McGee, Lightnin' Hopkins, Big Bill Broonzy, John Lee Hooker, Memphis Slim, Jimmy Reed. Fourth record is Harlem and New York Scene, which is Duke Ellington, Fletcher Henderson, Charlie Christian, Charlie Parker, and 4 is modern jazz. Of course, this was put out in the 60s. So for them, modern jazz was still Dizzy Gillespie, Charles Mingus, Eric Dolphy, Sonny Rollins, Cannibal Adderley, and Miles Davis. And the last side, record 5, side 1 and 2, is big bands in the swing era. So this is a really interesting box set, especially the early stuff, which you don't hear very often and certainly don't see. So this is sort of cool. 5 record set, the collector's history of classic jazz. Next box set. I love this one because I love the piano. And this is the Smithsonian Collection Jazz Piano. Again, this is a 5 record set or 6 record set? It's 6 record set. Jazz piano on the Smithsonian Collection. Don't think it's a promo. It's a white label, but I don't think it's a promo. I think this is how it was. CBS Special Products, 1969. And this has on it, here we go, Jelly Roll Morton, James P. Johnson, Willie the Lion Smith, Fats Waller, Earl Hines, Teddy Wilson, Count Basie, Art Tatum, Duke Ellington, King Cole Trio, Bud Powell Trio, Lenny Tristano, Dodo Marmosa, which I'd never heard of these guys until I got this, and then I got into them, and I have a number of their albums now. Also has Monk, Horace Silver, Hank Jones, Tommy Flanagan, Bill Evans, McCoy Tyner, Chick Corea, goes up to Keith Jarrett and Herbie Hancock. So it really covers a wide range of jazz pianos. Great 6 LP box set. Most of these box sets you can pick up for less than $10, and most of them are pretty great. Smithsonian, actually, I'm sorry, that's 1989. There you go. 2 more to go. This one is really great also. Riverside, History of Classic Jazz. More than 60 complete sections of all the greats of jazz. Fully illustrated booklet. Blah, blah, blah. 512 long playing records. This is from 1959. It's an original in amazing condition with the booklet, which is pretty cool. Fats Waller, Bunk Johnson, who's this? Dixieland stuff. Here's my man. Bix Beiderbecke, etc. So great booklet, really goes through everything, tells you about all the musicians on here. Classic history of classic jazz on the original Riverside label. Very nice. All the sleeves were poly-lined. Or maybe not. No, I put that in. Take that back. I did that myself. And this one has, I'll give you a quick rundown. Not in the back, I thought it was. From the book itself, it says, Volume 1, the backgrounds, royal drums of Belgian Congo, Streets of Charleston, Blind Lemon Jefferson, Fred Van Eeps again. Then Volume 2 is Ragtime, Scott Joplin, Jelly Roll Morton. Volume 3 is The Blues, Ma Rainey, Bessie Smith, Ida Cox, Chippy Hill, Blind Lemon Jefferson, Big Bill Broonzy. Volume 4 is New Orleans Style. You got King Oliver's Creole Jazz Band, Jelly Roll Morton, Red Onion Jazz Band. Volume 5 is Boogie Woogie, one of my favorites. Jimmy Yancey, Cripple Clarence Lofton, Meade Lex Lewis, Pete Johnson. Volume 6, South Side of Chicago, Johnny Dodds and Tiny Parham. Late 1926, don't know that. Freddie Keppard's Jazz Cardinals, Barrel House 5. Doc Cook's Dreamland Orchestra. Volume 7 is Chicago Style. Most of these are from the 20s and 30s. The Wolverines, Charlie Pierce Orchestra, Wingy Malone, Volume 8 is Harlem, James P. Johnson, Clarence Williams, Duke Ellington, Fletcher Henderson. 9 is New York Style with Wild Bill Davison, Yank Lawson, Muggsy Spanner. And the last 10 is New Orleans Style, Kid Ory, Buck Johnson, Lou Walters, etc. Dixieland Rhythm Kings. Pretty good set. Again, most of these, you can pick these up for less than 10 bucks. Hard thing is finding them in decent condition. And the last one, go back to our friends at Smithsonian. And this is a Smithsonian collection of jazz, classic jazz. This is fantastic. This is, again, this is a 5 or 6 LP set. Comes with a great booklet on the Smithsonian label. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Smithsonian label, collection of classic jazz. And this one, on the back. Yeah, this one has, again, record one, side one is Scott Joplin, Jelly Roll Morton, they have Robert Johnson, Hellhound on My Trail, Jelly Roll Morton's Red Hot Peppers. Side 2, Sidney Bechet, James P. Johnson, Louis Armstrong and his Hot 5 and his Hot 7. Side 3 is again Louis Armstrong, Fletcher Henderson. Side 4, Fats Waller, Meet Lex Lewis, Coleman Hawkins, Billie Holiday. 5 is Art Tatum, Gene Krupa, Lionel Hampton. Side 6 is Benny Goodman, Duke Ellington. 7, Duke Ellington, Don Bayes, Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker. 8 is again Charlie Parker, Earl Garner, Bud Powell. 9 is Miles Davis, Dexter Gordon, Thelonious Monk. 10 is Monk and Sonny Rollins, MJQ, Charles Mingus. 11 is Sonny Rollins, and side 12 is Ornette Coleman and John Coltrane. This is a great, great compilation of great jazz men. Beautiful booklet, gives you everything, tells you everything about each track. A couple of photos, not too many. There you go. What else we got? There's John. Anyway, that's pretty much it on my box sets of classic jazz. Hope you enjoyed it. A little different. Next one, which I'm going to be doing in a couple of days, is blues. I got a number of blues sets, albums all set to go. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. And until I got to show off my great t-shirt. There you go. I know the record's spinning backwards. What are you going to do? I thought it was cool. Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Take care. Until next time, peace.